I have to admit, when I'm racing, that you start to black out a little bit in that last 100, 150 meters, and that word paddle just sounds so sweet. It means you're through the line and it's over.
Well, we certainly had a sterling finish between the University of San Diego Alumni Crew A and the BMA Boat Club. And if you would like to have an outstanding copy of the race that you've just seen, in about 30 minutes it will be available in the merchandise tent. These races are available for all of the races that we've seen today, but the one just finished will be ready in about a half hour, and it only costs $15 at the merchandise tent.
And if you are a coxswain or you are a relative of a coxswain, being able to get these DVDs and actually hear the coxswain and see the race is just beyond value.
Is this race 105? It's underway. Now they've shut it down. We had something happen in the first 100 meters. This was event number 105. It's the men's alumni final. And one of the crews shut down early and the other crews all shut down. We're going to try to sort this out.
Okay.
Probably back another race in.
Well, folks, while we're waiting for either this race to reform or to get a replacement race in there, you're invited to swing by the merchandise tent and pick up the latest in Crew Classic apparel, and if you wish, get a outstanding DVD of the races that we have seen today. You can pick your individual race. If you have a loved one in the race or someone of interest out there, then you might pick up a outstanding souvenir from the great camera coverage that we've had here. And also, as Patty mentioned, especially the races in which we've had the coxswain mic'd out there, that would be a very interesting keepsake to keep for your very own from the 2013 40th Annual San Diego Crew Classic. Not only the apparel, but the merchandise and the DVD available at the merchandise tent.
Yes, Patty, if you have a coxswain in your family, would you recommend buying the tape of a race that wasn't necessarily one that you were connected with in order to get a variety of techniques for motivating a crew or calling a race?
Well, as a coach, I use these DVDs whether I have crews in them or not because it's so hard to get close-up videos of the start, of the sculling, all of the skills that you need, and to be able to actually hear the voices of different coxswains in racing.
Ever thought, hey, it's only one piece of trash? Well, what if stormwater pollution affected you directly? The truth is, stormwater pollution affects us all. Don't let karma get you. Think blue.
Swallow the wind through my nose, feel the sand beneath my toes. As I walk along the shore, it's like a yeah, yeah, a deep inside me somewhere. It's like a la-di-da-da-dee-dee. Happiness is calling me.
Happiness is calling at sandiego.org.
Well, we're still down here at event number 105, and 4 of the crews have back into their starting blocks. We're waiting for the 5th crew, University of San Diego, who had the apparent problem with their equipment. They're getting assisted right now by the repair boat. Wait for them to back in. But I think the officials have decided to hold the other races and back this one, number 105, back in and get it underway.
Jim will keep us posted, but we're waiting for the men's alumni final. And these, as we've mentioned before, will be alumni crews, whether they are recently alumni or over a long period of time. We're waiting for a men's alumni final.
So you have an easier time keeping your points. Once I get an exact time, it should only be a couple minutes. We'll get the other boat loaded in and get you restarted.
So while we have a moment, I thought I might just take an opportunity to explain. While the coxswains are mic'd, they might hear them talking about numbers like, 138 or 143. Obviously, those are not the stroke ratings. What happens is a lot of these boats are wired with a impeller on the hull that will actually give the coxswains the hull speed. So, you want to pace your crew. We talked yesterday about making sure that your crew raced at a sustainable speed. So in training, the coaches would have worked out what that speed is and what their target time is. A lot like the strategy involved in a mile run. So they want to try to have reasonably even quarters so that they can kick it home at the finish. So the coxswain will be giving them their current speed and making sure that they're on target. So if you do hear coxswains talking, they'll often talk about stroke rating or they'll talk about the hull speed. It's quite extraordinary. They're not allowed to use GPS because that's considered an outside resource. But within the boat with the impeller on the bottom of the hull, they'll be able to get the real speed of their boat through the water.
How prominent is that equipment on boats?
It's moved pretty far back. It's the bow, the water line coming off the bow is pretty important. You'll see different bow shapes on the boats, and those are the boat builders best designed for the water line. It's far enough back that it's not affected by the turbulence at the very back of the boat, but it's about 15 feet back from the bow, so it gives you a pretty good speed. And they stick out maybe about 1.5 inches.
Is there a lot of drag effect on an impeller that might affect boat speed?
There would be some effect to it, but again, because it's within the laminar flow, it's not going to slow it down that much. The fin has a much deeper response to it.
Gentlemen, the repair is going to take longer than expected, so we are going to pull you off, send you back into the warm-up area while that repair is happening. We will run the next race and we will slot you in as soon as we can. Just stay nearer to the front of the staging area so that as we get a new time for you, the marshals can let you know that so you know when to come back on.
Okay, we just got word from the starter. They're going to line up the next event because the repair is going to take longer than they thought. And we'll have event number 105, the men's alumni final, a little bit later. But we're going to go with the next event, number 106. They're going to back in. There'll be a few minutes.
As you might imagine, this is a tremendous undertaking each year to put on this event, the 40th now annual San Diego Crew Classic, and it would absolutely in no way, shape, or form be possible without the kind consideration of the myriad of volunteers that we get here at the San Diego Crew Classic. And if we would like to take a second to indicate the deepest appreciation that the San Diego Crew Classic feels for the volunteers that come out here, many of them year after year after year, to be able to participate in this fine event and to be able to make it something happen and happen so incredibly well. So once again, thank you so much to the volunteers that are involved with our San Diego Crew Classic.
Gentlemen, we're going to give them 5 more minutes to get their rudder repair complete. If that is not done, we will start the race with just the 4 crews. Hopefully they will be able to join your race. If not, we will run it with just the 4, so 5 minutes from now.
So I got check that last announcement. The starting official is going to wait on race 105, the men's Alumni. They're going to allow the USD boat, which has the damaged rudder, to repair it, but they're only going to give them 5 minutes. If it's not done, they will be DQ'd and they'll take the race with the 4 that are still in the blocks.
Jim, I wonder if you could explain for the public up here. Oh, Matt, sorry. I wonder if you could explain for the public up here which boats you do have in race 105. On everybody's programs up here, it shows that there are 7 crews entered, but you're referring to 4. So could you tell us which ones you've actually got?
Yes, that's a good question. Event number 105, the men's Alumni final, we only have the first 5 crews present down here at the starting line. We have in lane 1 Brown University, in lane 2 University of California, Santa Barbara, lane 3 Northeastern University rowing alumni, lane 4 University of Southern California alumni, and then lane 5 University of San Diego alumni, who are presently frantically trying to repair their rudder so they can rejoin their comrades at the starting blocks.
Matt, thanks for that explanation. I'm sure that clears it up for everybody. Very grateful.
Might take this break to stop over at the Karl Strauss Beer Garden, try one of their tasty brews while we're waiting for the action in event 105. This is the men's alumni final. We're on a 5-minute clock, which of course is down somewhat from when they announced the 5 minutes for the University of San Diego alumni to attempt to repair the rudder on their shell. And if they are unable to do so, unfortunately, the officials have decided that they will run off with the 4 remaining crews, that being Brown, Santa Barbara, Northeastern, and USC.
Yes, that rudder may only be the size of a credit card, but it's absolutely critical, especially with these winds. So I suspected what happened is that the tiller lines, the lines that attach to the bar that goes across the rudder, must have snapped. And they're either trying to pull some shoestrings out or find some gum or zip ties or something to MacGyver it back together. And Ellen and Charlie, I do wonder what happened to those alumni crews. I know there were a number of alumni dinners last night, and perhaps someone just alumnied a little too well before today's race.
Yes, it's a credit to the drawing power of this regatta that we have alumni crews here even when their crews are not appearing. For instance,
Gentlemen, the lane 5
Northeastern,
boat is now on
Brown,
its way. As soon as they get locked on, we
who are
will
not
get you a
at
line
this
and on your
regatta
way.
this year, but
Coxswains,
their
go ahead and
alumni
get
crew
your
do
points
come
and
here.
Keep yourself pointed, so as soon as
Eavesdropping on
begin,
the starting official, it sounds as though the University of San Diego alumni may have gotten themselves straightened out, and they're working on getting everyone back into the stake boats for an opportunity to take off on this race 105, the men's alumni final.
Yeah, the USD crew is approaching the blocks, smiles on their face, fingers crossed.
Well, maybe, Patty, they found a credit card in one of their pockets and they could reattach it that way.
A little electrical tape, a zip tie, maybe some duct tape, all good.
I loved your MacGyver comment.
Baling wire.
Bubble gum.
Okay, as University of San Diego backs in, I'm going to give the lane assignments one more time. For this is event number 105. All the boys are here. Lane 1, Brown University. Lane 2, University of California, Santa Barbara alumni. Lane 3,
University of San Diego, you
Northeastern,
lane 6.
University Rowing alumni. Lane 4, University of Southern California alumni. And lane 5, the University of San Diego. And the University of San Diego alumni are going to race in lane 6 with a number 5 bow marker.
That move to the outer lane implies to me
Brown.
that perhaps it was a little
UC
dodgy,
Santa
their
Barbara.
repair, and they're giving a little extra
Northeastern,
steering room.
USC,
Pulling the cruise.
University of San Diego.
It's always pretty
Attention.
ugly when a crew crosses over into another lane, and they're off.
Here we go. We have a start to event number 105, the men's alumni final. It's a clean start. All 5 crews away cleanly. And our early leader is in lane 3. That is Northeastern. Followed in lane 1 by Brown. Then in lane 5, the University of San Diego.
Event 106.
Then lane 4, USC. And then Santa Barbara in lane 2. Crews have handled that quartering wind off their port side as they go up the course by the South Ingram Bridge through 250 meters. It's still Brown in lane 1 is our leader. Lane 3, Northeastern. Then the University of San Diego in the outside lane, lane 6. Then USC, lane 4. And Santa Barbara in lane 2. All 5 crews settled smoothly, established in their race cadence, race strategy. And as they approach 1/4 of the way down, 500 meters, it's still Brown in lane 1 is our leader. In lane 3, Northeastern. Lane 5, the University of San Diego. And then lane 4, USC, and then lane 2, Santa Barbara. That's our field, the men's alumni final at 600 meters.
Checking our lane assignments once again, Brown University currently on the lead out of Providence, Rhode Island is in lane number 1. The University of California, Santa Barbara is in lane 2. Northeastern University, our early leader, is in lane number 3. USC is in lane 4. and the University of San Diego Alumni is in lane number 6, actually, /5, and they are in the 3rd position currently after repairing their rudder on their boat and getting in. So if they are doing well here, maybe they ought to break the rudder in the boat and fix it every time. Brown on the lead. Northeastern, University of San Diego, USC, and the University of California, Santa Barbara, all alumni boats.
You know, as Charles mentioned earlier, this regatta is a tremendous draw. And also there are crews that would have had great success here that would reunion to come back and relive it. You know, they still have the race plans. When you row in college, you get up early every morning. It's pretty much 6 days a week, usually at dark 30. You don't get a lot of glory for it. You create a tremendous bond with your teammates. They're the ones who stand for you at your weddings. They're there to look after your kids when you move on into that next generation. And you really stay in touch with them for the rest of your life. So it's good to see that the Crew Classic has acknowledged that and put in an alumni event so people can come back and celebrate with their families.
To say nothing about the outstanding conditioning that pays lifetime dividends. Looks like Northeastern has clawed their way into the leadership there, and Brown has been pushed back to that 2nd position, then all the way to the outside, the University of San Diego, and then USC, and then the Santa Barbara alumni boat is tailing in this one. Brown got off to a good start and had the lead at the 500-meter mark, but Northeastern has pushed past them.
Let's see what happens when they come out of the wind shadow of Vacation Island. When that happens, you'll see, you know, the winds hit the stern of the boats and giving them a little bit of a kink. At the moment, I'd say that Brown may be pegging back Northeastern just a little bit. Northeastern are in the centre of the course, and it's going to get progressively a little bit more poppy for them out there. However, rowing as they did as undergraduates in Providence, Rhode Island, they will be no strangers to rough water.
In the dark jerseys in lane number 3, Northeastern is clipping along, and they have a slight lead over Brown along the shoreline. Then looking all the way outside, open water back to the University of San Diego, USC, and Santa Barbara. Once again mentioned, these are all alumni crews. Inside 500 meters, it is Northeastern, Brown along the shoreline. Outside to San Diego, University of San Diego, USC, open water back, and even more open water back to the University of California, Santa Barbara. Northeastern moving along smoothly, have not picked up any pace, and neither has Brown to this point.
You'll often find, Alan, in these alumni races that it's the steady pace that is maintained at the optimal possible effort for the crew that's going to achieve the result. I doubt whether many of these crews would be able to put in the sort of punishing finishing sprint that a lot of crews in full conditioning and when they were back at varsity level were able to do.
Northeastern with a slight amount of open water over the Brown crew along the shoreline as Northeastern is smoothly moving along. Brown in 2nd position all the way to the outside after open water is the University of San Diego. About 5 boat lengths of open water back to USC and an equal amount back to the University of California, Santa Barbara. At our finish line, it looks like Northeastern will be the unofficial winner of this one. Along the shoreline, Brown, having the lead at one time, relinquished it about mid-course and comes across the finish line in that 2nd spot. And then the University of San Diego will be in 3rd position, although still on the water. We'll call it USC 4th and the University of California, Santa Barbara 5th in this men's alumni final.
Come to the start.
Crews beginning to form up for the Women's Master A. Union Owston, Lake Merritt, Willamette, Lake Union,